Alright you guys, so this is going to be a quick how-to video on how to service the transmission on a Honda FG110 cultivator tiller. It's got a little transmission under here under the engine and it has grease in it. So we're going to be going through the procedure to how to grease it. You'll need, I suggest latex gloves. My grease is very slippery, very sticky, and it really doesn't come off your hands for a while. So I suggest latex gloves, a Phillips head screwdriver, and rags. You always need rags for everything. And I'm not going to do this on camera because I've already done it to loosen them up, but these tines right here on the air filter side you're going to be taking off, and you're going to be taking them off, and they're very stuck on here. They're very difficult to get off if you don't take them off regularly. So you're going to want like a hammer or a mallet and some kind of like WD-40, or this is Bow Shield, the Boeing product, to help loosen these up to get them to slide off that shaft. And that's probably the hardest part about this, is getting these tines off to get to that. And remember, it's the air filter side. And so like I said, you'll need grease, Honda suggests Shell Vanya, I think it's called, which I think is Gaddis now. They suggest that, but really any multi-purpose grease will do. I'm using a product called Green Grease. It's a synthetic. It's kind of expensive. I'll put a link down to it below, but I like it. It works very well. It's very, very sticky. It's kind of a high temp grease up to 500 degrees before it turns like to an oil. So that's a very good grease. So that's pretty much all you need. To get started, it's probably easiest if you're working by yourself to just flip it on the side so the air filter's up. But for demonstration purposes, so you guys can see, I'm going to keep it on this side so you guys can see what I'm doing. First, you want to take this pin off on the air filter side, just like that, and then take your first tine off. Like I said, they're not going to come off this easy. It's your first go round. The only thing holding it in is that pin, because the shaft is tapered, cut on one end, as the whole shaft is a keyway. And then the next one you just slide off, nothing, hold that on. Okay, that's pretty much the hardest part so far. And what you do next is here, I'll lay it flat. You're looking at the transmission with the engine up here. You have two screws. You have a screw here, it's a Phillips, and you have a screw here, which is also a Phillips. This one is the actual grease filling port, and this one is an air vent, but you need to take off both. So I'll go ahead and take off both. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Hopefully my screwdriver can get that dirt out of there, which it looks like it will. Kind of flicking it out there. I'm going to go change out this screwdriver for a bigger headed one, and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, back again here. I got a bigger screwdriver, and so remember we got this bolt up here and this bolt. I went ahead as well and got a pick just like this and kind of scraped out the Phillips head there so I could get a better grip on it. So pretty much just loosen them up here. They're going to be tight, so try your best not to strip them out. Take it off, that one, and then take off this one. Of course, this is a cultivator, so it's naturally going to be very dirty, and some of the bolts and fasteners might not work well with you. And out comes that one. Alright, got two bolts there, or two screws rather. Okay, and so now, you guys set you guys up over here. This might help you a little better. Get our grease gun. Mine has kind of a tail on it to make this easier, but there's no fitting on here. You sort of got to just press it against there. And I'm going to go ahead and pump grease into that. And you pretty much pump until grease comes out the air vent on the other side. As you can see, mine was probably pretty low. Now, what I've heard is these FG110s don't necessarily have too many transmission problems. It's the ones before, the FG100s. generally had a little bit more of a transmission problem. I'm pumping a whole bunch of grease into here, so a lot of it must have drained out. I'm going to wipe that clean for a second. Wipe my nozzle clean here too. Nothing come out of the air vent just yet, so we'll keep filling. I should have just put a fitting on this thing, although I think it might break out. I see the grease is just about to come up. That's why it's kind of pressuring back on me on this end. Alright, that's good. I'll show you guys what I'm seeing here. So I filled up this one. That's where I was packing it in. And you can see there's grease coming out of that hole now. So that means we're full. So we can go ahead and put those screws back in. It might be a little bit difficult now that there's grease in there. Well, easier to screw in, but hopefully there's enough room for it to screw in. So we'll screw it in, put it in nice and tight. Wipe that clean. I mean, I can wipe this grease off, but it's just going to get dirty once it starts to go again. We'll screw in this end. This is your air vent. Make sure that's nice and tight, which it is. Alright, tighten this one, double check this again. Alright. Go back over here. I'm going to hit this shaft once more with some bow shield. Okay, now we put it back on. We want this tine towards the gearbox like that. And this one towards it as well. You put both tines towards the gearbox, just like that. And then the last piece to go in is this cotter pin. Goes on the tippy top here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Put you back so you can. Almost got it. There it is. So you gotta be careful because some of these are kind of sharp when you're pushing that pin in. It might kick you with your fingers. You don't rub against there. But yep, there's the pin. Your gearbox is all greased. Next time you do it, if you spray this shaft with something, it's probably going to be a little easier. But that's all there is to it, to adding some grease to your gearbox. Honda recommends doing this every year or every 25 hours. Like this is the FG110. This one's supposed to be a little bit less susceptible to gearbox issues than the previous model, the FG100 I think it was. But yeah, that's greasing it. So let me know if this video helped you. Comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks for watching.